Kieran Robeisy here with Boxer Bants, and I'm very happy to be in, I don't know, would you call it Casa El Eric or Casa El Laura, or what would you call it?
Oh, welcome to the hills of Tullyallen here in Drogheda. So we're in the lovely surroundings of Tullyallen. This is my backyard. This is my beautiful view that I see every morning. It's a lovely place to be, and so peaceful out here. So you're very welcome.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me, Eric. So Eric, I suppose the first thing I can ask you, we'll jump straight into it, is you had a fight announced last week. I think it was last Friday or Thursday, and look, it's you're going to return to Sky Sports anyway, but it's going to be under a top ranked card against Cuban southpaw Robeisy Ramirez. He's 28 southpaw. I imagine with your amateur background, you've known of him quite well. Am I right in saying?
Yeah, I mean, any amateur boxer in the world knows who Robeisy Ramirez is. Yeah. Any professional boxer probably knows him as well. You know, he's a Cuban legend, basically. You know, double Olympic champion, and he's my next opponent, and I can't wait for it. Yeah.
So, how did this come about? Was it been talked for quite a while, or did it just happen very quickly? Or
not quite quickly, actually. I was in training for my fight in Belfast in January. My manager Mark Dunlop was working away on getting me a big name opponent for that fight. We were looking at maybe an intercontinental title or an international title of some sort, because we want to, we have dreams and goals to get back into that European title contention. So that was our plan, that was our trajectory, and that obviously fell by the wayside. The British Boxing Board of Control cancelled all shows for January, and then a consolation came up, was, Ramirez, what do you think? On the undercard of Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall, and I was like, man, absolutely, Jesus, you don't have to ask me twice, amazing opportunity for me, and can't wait for it.
Yeah. Sorry, pull in closer. Right. Yeah, him as a boxer, as a pro so far, what do you think of him? He's 8-1. Obviously, he lost his first fight in a split decision, but since then, like he's done very well. Notably, like his last fight against Orlando Gonzalez Ruiz, like very very good win. How did you feel about it? Like when it was offered on the table to you?
Well, first instincts was like, this is huge. This is massive. This is a big name, and if you want to challenge yourself against the best, and he's one of them, and so it was exciting at first, and it got the juices flowing, I was like, yeah, this is big, let's go for it. So I spoke to Packy, my coach, because I'm working with him most days, and I wanted to make sure that Packy was on the same wavelength as me, and he was, and so we went back to Mark and said, yeah, we'll take this fight. We're happy to take this fight, and that's it. So we've been training for this ever since.
It's interesting because when you fought Zelva Barra, the consensus, I think, maybe in your mind, or maybe other people's mind, was Eric's the one with the amateur pedigree. If he's going to win, he's probably going to outbox him, and then Zelva Barra is the person who is going to have to look for a stoppage, which is in the end what happened, because you were winning by quite a margin and he had to stop you. But this one seems like you both use with very good amateur pedigrees, so it seems it's going to be technically quite a high level, and it'd be unusual for someone in the pro game to fight you and have maybe a slightly better amateur record than you. And in this occasion, obviously, is the two gold medals at flyweight and bantamweight, and then youth Olympics as well, and world boxing. He's won golds in them as well. So how do you think yourself would be like a chess match, and how do you think, obviously you're not going to tell me everything, but how are you looking to approach the fight?
Oh, we have a plan. We have a plan. We're training to a tactical plan, and we're working away on that. There's absolutely no doubt about it. He's an exceptional, phenomenal athlete, amateur athlete. Olympic champion is the highest accolade that you can achieve, and to go and do it twice at two different weights is just extraordinary. So he's been in with every style. He's an amateur record of who's who. So he's not. styles and stylistically and all that kind of stuff, he's not going to be overawed by what he faces. But like we're looking at him, you know, and we're looking at a way of trying to exploit him, you know, nullify him, you know, get some success against him, and so we're training to a certain strategy, a certain plan. I've never had that before. I've never had that in the professional game, even against Alpha Barrett. Like, I went in there and it was kind of just relying upon my amateur skills, skills that I've developed over a number of years on the high performance team. But skills are only a certain part of the game. They'll get you so far. But I kind of ran out of ideas against Alpha, and I didn't know what to do in the deep waters. I came unstuck, you know. But this time I'm a lot more experienced, I think. I've developed a lot more since then. Obviously, I've the added kind of experience now of Packy in the corner as well. You know, he's been there, he's done it, and like Packy's a great teacher, and you know, he's teaching me how to manage my performance, how to manage rounds, how to manage fights, how to manage my ability, my emotions, and you know, that's good, you know. So I feel like I'm learning and developing loads with Packy, and you know, he's a hell of a lot of experience, and I'm really enjoying it. So it's kind of difficult, you know, when you think about a Cuban, you think of, like, you know, elusive, skillful, you know, really fast, powerful, tricky, all those kind of things. But Ramirez is a little bit different, you know. He's a little bit different. Like, he likes to have a go, and he likes to engage, and, you know, sometimes he has a high defence, sometimes he has a low defence. So you don't know what he's going to come at you with. So you got to just be prepared for every kind of possibility with him. And that's what we're doing. You know, that's what we're doing. We're preparing hard, training hard, and we're really excited for it.
Do you think maybe it's more so your experience that might prevail, because you've had more professional fights than him, and you'd quite a stint obviously in the amateur game, just like he did. But do you think that is something that will weigh in your favour?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm trying to gain a percentage in all different departments. So, like, you know, there is many ways of looking at this and saying, okay, right, well, I might trump him here, or I might be superior here, and there's so many little small variables that you will gather a little bit of a percentage there, and that's what I'm using anyway. And you have to kind of use whatever advantage you can, even if it's for just developing psychological strength, mental strength, belief, conviction. You know, so there is so many small little things that I don't want to really go into, but there's so many of them. But it'll all boil down to on the night when the first bell goes. You know, it's the talking is over, and then it's showtime. You know, and I'm just really, really grateful that I am still at 36 years of age in these, you know, in a position now to fight in front of 15,000 people on a huge card, a massive card. Like, I'm after pulling myself out so many deep holes in life, deep holes. Like, and I dreamed of nights like this and experiences like this, and here I am now, you know, approaching these events, and it's going to be really something special. I'm very proud. Like, I'm very proud of myself, very proud of the journey I've come from, and I'm so up for this fight. I'm so pumped for this fight, and all my family and friends, and I know there's going to be so many Irish fans there as well, because there's a lot of Irish people on the card, a lot of Irish boxers. And even though I am the B-side, you know, I know Ramirez is the home fighter, top ranked fighter, but trust me, I'm going to have the home support there, and that's another little advantage I'm going to have. So look, I'll be taking all of these on board, and I just cannot wait for it. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. So you must be really looking forward to just the whole fight week in general.
Oh, I am. I'm loving it. Like, you know, these are like special days. Like, they really are special days. And, you know, there was times in my past where I was regretful, and so many regrets. And that's not a nice place to be living in regret about the near misses and the missed opportunities and all that. But look, I've rectified all that. I'm now living the life that I chose to live, and I'm now fully present, fully aware, and going into this fight with my eyes wide open, and creating some amazing memories in training camp, and the whole journey, because like, it's not just all about on the night, it's the build up to it, it's the planning, it's the prepping, it's the working towards something special, and I'm living, these are the best days of my life, and I cannot wait for it. It's only 4 weeks away.
So moving on from your fight, so another thing I want to speak to you about is Katie Taylor Serrano was just announced, and obviously it's the one that we were all waiting for, really. First of all, what you think of the fight in general? I'm sure you've thought about it a million times already before and spoken about it a million times, but now it's in MSG. How are you feeling about the fight in general?
Oh, it's amazing. It's brilliant for boxing. Absolutely incredible. Especially women's boxing, even though, like, women's boxing has just really become more and more, what would you say, present in our lives. So, and Katie Taylor has been one of those driving factors behind that, and now she's going to take it to a whole new level, and I believe it's going to be an all-female card as well. And if that, like, it's just going to be another piece of history, and there's no end to the records that Katie Taylor is breaking, but trust me, this is going to be a serious fight. It's going to be a serious fight. Serrano is top class, she's very, very good, very, very good. High boxing IQ, she has experience, and she's waited for this fight for long enough as well. That probably could have been frustrating for Katie, wondering if she's ever going to get this fight, but it's happening. It's all going to happen now, and I hope Katie can pull it off, and it's going to be something special. I might even try and make it there myself. We're talking about it, Laura and I, so we're hoping to make it over there. I think it'll be a special weekend.
Yeah. Something you actually said to me in the last time interview, Dan, it triggered something in me when I thought about it. You're talking about your experience against Elva Barra, how, like you just said there, when you went into the ring, just doing what you always did as an amateur, but at a higher level, basically at a higher fitness, and it made me think, because people always say about Katie that she leaves too much in training camp, things like that. But would you say, from looking at her, that she, like you said, you were trying to miss every shot and land every shot, and with your amateur style, do you think that's something that Katie has brought into the pro ranks in her style, where it's still kind of that trying to avoid every punch, trying to land every punch kind of thing? Just a thought that came into my mind. Do you think that's something that's carried with her into the pros?
Well, what I will say is I don't think that Katie Taylor has transformed into a out-and-out professional boxer. She still is very much equipped with the amateur skills and tools that have won her so much success as an amateur, and she still uses she's a bit more powerful now. Probably, has the same kind of work ethic as an amateur. She still has that work ethic. Works a lot over the rounds. So I don't think she has really changed as such, but there is a lot of areas that I can see that could help her, to improve. But when you're a boxing kind of an analyst or boxing pundit or whatever, you would see areas in every boxer where you think they can improve, including myself, but sometimes you can find it hard to apply these to yourself, because you can't be in the ring and outside the ring at the same time. But let's say, even for an example, like with my fight against Elva Barra, I was probably winning rounds, and I could have won the rounds by doing 20% less. Stuff like that. You're still only going to you're winning around 10-9. Whether you win the round by 20 punches or 15 punches or 10 punches. So you got to be able to learn how to manage rounds, win rounds, be smart, be clever, but preserve energy as well for the long, for the deep waters, so for the championship rounds. But that all comes with experience, And Katie Taylor's a very experienced athlete, and I wouldn't be critical of her at all in any way. But how could you be? But there is, when you spend so many years as working one way, it can be hard to change over. So I'm finding it hard too to kind of change over completely to professional style. But there is things that I can do, and I try and work on the things that I can do, but still not neglect the skills, the amateur skills that have been fundamental to my success.
Yeah.
And that's very important. The jab, the footwork, the feinting. These are all things that you need to have, and Katie has them, and I think they will be very important against Serrano.
Yeah. No, the reason why I said that was because then I was thinking, because a lot of punditry, they were kind of saying, like in Sky in particular, I remember they said they felt like she was overtrained in camp. But I always felt that maybe she was just doing that too much work in rounds when she didn't need to. Maybe that was just a thought I had. But anyway, so something I want to get your opinion on. So the Irish Boxing Awards are coming up, irishboxing.com, and just there's a few categories I'd like to get your thoughts on for who would be your number one. It's just a bit of fun. So, Fighter of the Year. So I think this is I think everyone generically has the same thought, but so you've John O'Carroll, Mick Conlon, Lewis Crocker, Kelly Harrington and Katie Taylor. I think irishboxing.com on the podcast were talking about Kelly and Katie. Katie was the only one that could really because she defended our undisputed world champions, world titles. But for you, what would be your pick out of them?
Oh, Kelly Harrington, yeah. Just I wouldn't even have to think about it. Olympic gold medal. They're a very rare thing in this country, and to win it, you have to beat the best, not just the best from one country, but the best in the world. And she had to win 4 fights to get there as well. And her opponent that she beat in the final was undefeated for over 2 or 3 years. She was a powerhouse. She was a knockout artist. She was everything, and I think Kelly was the underdog going into the final as well, and just to pull off an exceptional world-class performance as one of the best performances, I think, of any Irish boxer in Olympic Games. Really, really up there with the best performances, and she done it in style. So it's just so proud of her, and it made me proud to be an Irish person there at that time as well. And it was just even a greater honour and a privilege to be working on it. Yeah, but no, I have to say Kelly Harrington for that one.
Yeah. Next one, I think I have a feeling which one you're going to pick as well. So Trainer of the Year, so Dee Walsh, Pete Taylor, Shane McGuigan, Andy Lee and Zora Antia. If you want to have a think about that, or I think I think Zora Antia as well. Because Kelly won the Olympic gold medal, I think Zora Antia has been he's had one of the biggest influences, I think, on Irish boxing over the last 20 years. He came over in 2003, so he's here nearly 20 years. And the man doesn't get the credit he deserves. And that's just because he's always been in the kind of assistant role or technical role. Billy Walsh was the head coach. Gary Keegan was the director once upon a time. And, I know Pete Taylor get a lot of credit for Katie's gold medal and that as well. But, Zora Antia has his hands all over the successes of their successes. Katie Taylor, Kenneth Egan, John Genevin, all the Olympic medals that we've won over the last, I think we've won nine Olympic medals since Zora come over. We've won 18 in total. We've won 50% since Zora come over, you know what I mean? And so it's nice to see him get recognised now. He was also nominated for the RTE Coach of the Year. He didn't get it, but it was nice. It was just really nice to see him being recognised, and
all the other coaches that you mentioned as well have had great careers. Some of them are only kind of starting out in their careers as well, you know, as professionals. Steve Walsh and Andy Lee and, you know, Pete Taylor and these guys are doing really well. And I think they will go on to have really good careers. Like, you know, a couple of things spring to mind there, like Joe Parker now has made a great progress under Andy Lee. Tyson Fury, you can see the difference with him since the link up with Andy as well, and Sugar Hill and that. So they're all great, but I think Zor deserves it. Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah. And last one as well. So we have special merit. So it's a new category that came out for people who don't really fit into the other categories, but they deserve a nice mention. And so the five for this one is Darren O'Neill, who obviously came back and won the cruiserweight title, and Kiko Martinez, although not Irish, but Irish are very fond of him. Dominic Dunnigan for stepping in on late notice quite a few times, and John Carpenter, and the last one's Emma Brennan. So I listened to you speaking to Emma on Kevin's podcast. We'll not say much more than that, like, but anyway, so yeah.
No, honestly, no, I think Emma Brennan's story is just a special one. It really is a special one. It's up there, and he's inspired so many people, you know. What a guy. But for this one, I'm going to give it to my old teammate Darren O'Neill. I think what Darren O'Neill has done at 36 as well, I think 37 or something like that. Yeah, so to go back in at heavyweight, was it heavyweight?
Cruiserweight.
Sorry, cruiserweight. It's the new weight category, isn't it?
Yeah,
was it 86 or 88 or something?
80.
Somewhere in it. It's just under light heavy, or it's just under heavyweight anyway.
I think it's 85.
Right, yeah. So I think that for Darren to do that and get in there and put on a clinic against an up and coming superstar like in Kane Tucker, like, wasn't it Kane Tucker that he boxed, wasn't it? I know there's a couple of them Tuckers in there, isn't there? I think it was Kane. There's brothers, is there?
Semi-final against, so the semi-final, the guy to pull out during the injury, what's his name? Like Ken.
Okambawa, was it?
I think he had to pull out, yeah. As
well, yeah. But anyway, look, I think fair play to Darren O'Neill to get in there and do that. Like, it's very, very hard at that age, and he only done it on a couple of weeks training as well, so you could just see the experience.
Great head of hair on him and no bother to him at all.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, really, really brilliant. But you know, Emma Brennan produced something special in the Olympics as well, and I genuinely believe even in the fight that he lost, he took something away from that. Was it the Uzbek, I think, that he boxed, the number one Uzbek? He took something away from that guy. That guy was tipped for a medal, and he lost in his next fight. And Emma Brennan took lumps out of him, like, you know. So massive credit to him. But I think I'll give Darren the nod for this one, for the Special Merit Award, Darren O'Neill. Yeah.
Right. Well, Eric, really appreciate your time. Appreciate you having me at your home, and I'm looking forward to the fight on February.
Thanks, Karen. Appreciate it, and thanks for all your support, Boxing Bants. And get behind me, guys. Just come.
All right.
Lightning, baby.
Yeah.